I mean, Chinese food, hiccups, it's the same thing. All right! Welcome to another edition of the marvelous Radio Statler podcast. On the air with us tonight, we have the wonderful Buddy, Johnny Xmas, and Nick God, and of course, myself, with the most terrible potato on the face of the planet, Beaches.
Woo! Alright, we're all full of dinner. Like, literally, our mouths are currently all full of dinner.
That's obviously the best time to have a podcast, is when everybody has their mouth filled with dinner.
Yes.
Cheers, guys.
So, are we missing anybody, or is this all that's expected?
I don't think Neo chimed in anywhere.
Did anybody email him?
I haven't heard from him in a while.
He's logged in on the IRC where the link was posted, but
I usually find that direct email works the best.
Also, what's his name was very insistent that he was finally going to make it to one.
Side Pocket.
Yeah.
You mean for
But
real?
it was more likely not that he was going to come.
All right.
Difference there. Difference. Apply to all podcast link. Alright. So, Night Owl and Neo Amsterdam have both been invited, and hopefully they'll actually show up, but if they don't, that's okay. So, somewhere I have the actual, there we go, here's that. I only have one monitor right now. It's very depressing. But I have the other one hooked up to the Mac.
at least you're not sitting in your garage in a lounge chair.
Is that the only place? Is that the only room that you have set up in your house so far, Nick?
It's the only place I have a comfortable chair.
That's pretty
I
funny.
suggested moving that chair into like a living room, but apparently that was not an okay suggestion.
It's obviously too much effort.
Yeah. I mean, guys, this is just a podcast.
Hey, so let's take a moment to bitch about our ISPs.
Wait, can I finish eating?
Well, I can go first.
Okay.
I now have Comcast.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm actually a little happy about it. Because I ran speed tests last night. I got like 120 down and like 15 up, which is more than what I'm paying for, which I'm happy about. But the amount of effort it took to actually get the service set up, like, holy fuck. It took me 4 phone calls and like 2.5 hours to get shit actually set up. Because the first one I called in, and the guy was like, "Oh no, whoever told you that Comcast services your address was an idiot. You need to go talk to AT&T or Verizon."
Nice.
So I was like, "Well," I looked at those, and it's DSL, so 15 down, 2 up if you're lucky. I was like, that seems like bullshit. So I plugged in my modem anyway into the cable coming out of the wall, and the lights all came on. I was like, well, obviously if the lights came on, there's something at the other end of the cable. But it's not.
They didn't just leave the cable hanging there.
Well, I mean, you could have it where, because it's coaxial through the wall, so maybe, I don't know, somebody had like a satellite receiver box at one point that they hooked up and then wired everything to the wall. I don't know. Like, I could see the house being wired but not having an incoming cable. That'd be really fucking weird, but
You mean kind of like my phone wiring?
Yes, exactly. Anyway, so, I call them back, and I was like, well, hey, so I plugged in the modem, and then I got to poking around, and I looked at the addresses all around me, and they're all eligible for Comcast, so what the fuck? And the guy was like, well, either we ran out of cable, and we couldn't run into your house, and just because we couldn't do any more on that run, or somebody didn't pay their bill for so long that we blacklisted your address. I can't tell you which, but if you drive to the Comcast office in your town, which clickety-clackety, looks like it's open until 9:30, you might be able to just bring a copy of your lease and your photo ID to prove that you're not the person that stiffed them on the bill, and you'll be good to go. So, I grab my wallet, I grab, a copy of my lease, get in my car, I haul ass across town, get there, been close since like 5. God damn it.
Where do you live? What cornfield?
I've actually moved to a town that's substantially more civilized than my previous location. We have a Target and a Chipotle.
You need to work on where you live.
I'm probably.
You're telling that to the wrong person in this conversation.
It's true. It's definitely true. Anyway, so I get over there. It's been close since 5, so I call the national Comcast number, not like the extension for the local branch office. So I call them up, and then I get them on the phone, and it's like option 1 is for sales, option 2 is for existing customers, and 3 is for general inquiry. Well, I really only just have like a question to answer, because I don't give a shit. Because it sounds like I have to go over there with a lease and my photo ID and shit, and have to actually be there in person and do it. So I just need to know whether or not the address is serviceable. Okay, general inquiry. Don't ever fucking press general inquiry.
I could have told you that.
Yeah, I should have known better. So after 20 minutes on the phone with this guy who's trying to troubleshoot for an address that he thinks already exists on an account that already exists, he's like, oh, I get it. You're trying to know if this address is serviceable. Okay, let me transfer you. And then immediately hangs up on me. So I called back. I was like, fuck it, I'll just do sales, because that's obviously the way I'm supposed to fucking do this.
Sales is usually a good way to go, because they want to be happy.
It's the way. So I finally get on the phone with, I think his name was Dean. And after 15 minutes, he's like, oh yeah, hey, it looks like, somebody back in 2012 didn't pay their bill, and we, blacklisted the address. And I was like, so in the 3 years that somebody other than me has lived here, nobody gave a shit about having broadband. At all.
That's awesome.
So he was like, oh, well, so I need to, schedule out a technician to come out and, install and run the wires and shit, because it's been 3 years. I was like, no, the lights came on. Just turn that fucker on. If I have issues, I'll call you back.
Yeah.
Now I have internet.
I was speaking at a couple of conferences for some children, and the topic at one of them, the one last weekend, was on the evolution of multiplayer gaming, and trying to convey the gravity of the concept of we didn't have broadband to children is impossible. And while I was researching this, I was trying to figure out what were the first true multiplayer games that you could play remotely, i.e. via dial-up, not via serial and IPX like we did at LAN parties, and then what were the staples. And during that research, I found that there's a lot of people playing modern multiplayer games on dial-up. There's entire huge suggestion threads on the World of Warcraft forums for people who are playing dial-up. World of Warcraft, and dial-up hasn't gotten beyond 56K. It's still that's where you're at.
Physics.
So they're playing WoW on a dial-up modem still.
I'd like to see a video of how that works, but it would take them 18 days to upload it.
Oh, man.
Well,
no.
Apparently, in the effort to lower latency for everyone involved as much as possible, there's constantly new ideas being thought up on the gaming side. Regardless of whether you're on broadband or not, the idea is to get the internet connection as far out of the way as possible, and they've gotten so good at that you can play World of Warcraft on dial-up with some efficiency, and that's amazing.
That's incredible.
I feel like even not knowing that there is better than DSL or dial-up out there, I feel like I still couldn't have the patience to do that on dial-up.
No, it's horrible.
Didn't you deal with it? Like in the 90s, weren't you dealing with that?
Yeah,
no,
but
because
that was
the
then.
internet was based around that. Like the internet.
But the games were not that intense back then.
Yeah,
and like
that's true.
Nobody
games were-
expected you to have better than dial-up.
Yeah, like if you had 56K, that was amazing, and games were built around the fact that you had 56K.
Yeah, remember when V.92 came out and we all lost our shit?
And
So, like, I mean,
people
like-
watching this don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
They should.
I don't think I
That's why
could have
they're
handled
watching
it.
this.
If I had like a game like like WoW, be like it is now, but I had it back. I don't think then I couldn't have done it. I've been like, screw this. Let me just go back to online chatting. Or Yahoo Games. That was awesome when I was young. I spent hours. Like, it's probably a sad life, but I spent hours playing Yahoo Towers, the little Tetris version of Yahoo game. And then they brought on the voice chat rooms one of these days, and then we would always sit in there and talk with each other and play Yahoo Towers. Seriously, it was the best like mid-high school years of my life.
And I was all about Warcraft 2, man.
Yeah,
I
but
don't even want.
that was still P2P though, isn't it? Like you
It
can
was-
only do 2-player.
It was two players
And
direct
no-
over. You dial into each other.
Yeah, so was the original Warcraft
Yeah.
and StarCraft. Although I think that came later.
No, StarCraft had LAN capabilities from the beginning.
I did.
Yeah, Warcraft
yeah,
was
Warcraft 2.
call
Yeah, it
someone's
was,
computer.
I remember going out to the store and buying like no modem cables, not knowing what the fuck I was doing, but I was like, I need no modem cables.
Right, because that's all you knew.
Yeah.
Like, I need no modem because that's what the thing said. Yeah, and so I gave a talk, and there's a video, I don't know if it's up yet, of me trying to tell literally 7- and 8-year-olds. Like, it opens, there was a funny picture on Twitter, I don't know if you guys follow me on the Twitter, but somebody had posted it where I had a big picture of a telephone jack on a wall, and me asking a room full of 8-year-olds, who knows what this is? And they all raise their hands, and so I start going around, and they're like, that's an HDMI cable. And so, like, they know HDMI, but they, like, this telephone jack, they were like, it's wires.
What's the same? There's that video that's going around. They did with they put rotary phones in front of kids. And
Yeah.
asked them what it was.
Oh, yeah,
The
and
video was hilarious.
that's pretty much what it was.
Now I'm really interested to find like.
Like kids wouldn't even know what dial-up is. Like
Well, right, but like
that
even
was-
further
that
back,
was gone by then.
like they didn't understand the concept of like I had a friend who lived in New Jersey. Like that was fucking mind blowing back then.
Right.
And now they're like,
Yeah.
Grandma lives in New Jersey. We Skype her all the time. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Like you just can't convey that properly.
No, back when like all that online chatting started, since I sat up all night on the computer, all my friends lived in Australia and New Zealand. I had lots of them. I was like, I know all these people
You're right.
that live
New
in
Zealand
New
and
Zealand.
Australia. Yeah, me too.
Lots of them. I still have lots of them. So I'm still friends with those people from then. But now it's nothing crazy.
You know, I had a similar kind of thing actually watching the Supreme Court decision on gay marriage recently, right? And I'm sitting there thinking about it. I'm going, you know, in 50 years, people are going to be looking back on us like we look back at the civil rights era in the 60s and being like, I don't understand.
Yeah. Like, I don't even understand now, as, like, living right now, why this was an issue. So, I mean, like, I don't even know how people then will be like, well, why? I don't get it.
But understanding, like how you could live in, like, what that world actually looked like. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'll have to say I was super excited the other night when I got home from work. Saw that they ruled against it. Or ruled against not having it.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect me in any way, but I was just super excited because I have so many friends it does affect. It was really great.
That's badass.
Yeah, it just made me super excited. I'm like, it's about time. Jesus fucking Christ. People are people. I don't even understand why it's in question this entire time. We can just we can do the entire podcast. We can discuss the sanctity of marriage and how it's been bullshit for, well, ever.
The whole concept of government being in marriage, if you look back at the history of it, was about taxes. During the Great Depression, they were trying to get tax revenue. So they started taxing marriage licenses. That's how that started.
There's never been a sanctity of marriage. I mean, half of what, like, all the monarchy back in the day of, like, in England, all of them, they wed their brother and sister to keep it in family. I mean, like, half of us are all inbreeds. Came from there, and, like, there's no sanctity of marriage. Most people get married for money. That's still, like, outside of America, I'm pretty sure arranged marriages still happen more than, like, in the other way around.
Yeah, it was really weird going to India and hearing on the radio, like, this conflict between what we would consider traditional marriage, right? They call it love marriage, which is just I don't understand that word at all. But that's what they call it. So they're sitting there, like, debating the difference between love marriage and what they see as normal marriage. I'm like, what? That's weird.
It's just culture, man. And, like, it seems weird to you, but to them it's totally normal. And, like, that's the argument for gay marriage. Like, yeah, it seems weird to you, but for gay people, it's totally normal. Like, and you just got to go either, oh my God, that affects me personally and prevents my ability to do something, which is generally not true, or you have to go, they're fucking weird, but I'll be over here if you need me. Or you can go, fuck yeah. Like, there's your three options. And, yeah, and so, like, they're dealing with other types of weird marriage in other parts of the world. I mean, there's parts of the world where incest is totally fine. There's parts of the world where what we would consider pedophilia is fucking A-OK. And,
Utah.
And if you go over there, and you start, like, yelling at them about it, being like, you people are disgusting, you get the weirdest looks. And they're like, what the hell happened to you as a child that you're so disgusted by this? Like, you're the weirdo. And we are. We're all weird. All of us are weirdos.
Exactly. That's why it's awesome.
Your public service announcement from Radio Statler.
Everybody's weird.
Normal people scare me.
Yeah, like, I mean, you take anyone who's against gay marriage because they're like, it's sick and an affront to whatever, and you talk to them long enough, you'll find something they do that's also sick and an affront to whatever, but they will defend it to the death.
Never mind all of these Catholic Church who just molest little boys. They can overlook that and don't seem to mind that.
I have to feel like that's another product of your environment kind of situation. I think that's a different conversation.
Well, it's still, you don't hear them uproaring and having protests and marches against all of their, people within their religion doing horrible things. Yet they're going to protest.
You certainly do.
Really? Because I never hear about them. I guess maybe.
I have to wonder if the media keeps that down or, like, intentionally doesn't cover it because it's the largest church in the country, and
that's always a possibility.
But
I still feel like that they don't really.
There are certainly
against it so much.
Massive groups of and for molestation victims that do regularly protest, among other things. Like, they are certainly out there and prominent.
Well, that's good then.
Whenever go watch every video of the Pope coming to the U.S. and just look at all of the signs that are against the Catholic Church. It's very prominent.
Are they people who are sent out there just specifically against Catholic Church? Or are they against just people who are atheist against?
No, it usually targets the molestation thing.
Oh, okay.
Which is unfortunate because there's other reasons to protest the church. But, I mean, that's really the one. Like, it's not like the Mormon Church that, like, intentionally harms minors as a part of its doctrine. Yeah. The Catholic Church doesn't have a doctrine of harming minors. In fact, it has a very hard defined stance against it. But when you're making adult men take a vow of abstinence and live alone forever, and then all they're visited by on occasion is these 13-year-old boys. I can understand how they snap one day. Like, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's wrong, but the other half of that is I bet a lot of those guys who went into priesthood knew that they were pedophiles and had these terrible urges and said, I need to just get away from society because I'm terrible and I need to just be with God every day in order to keep me from going wrong. And then you taunt this poor guy by sending all these 13-year-olds in. It's a bad situation to begin with. And not to say like it's not the fault of the people doing the molestation, because it certainly is. But like they're not putting themselves in the best situation to begin with. Those people need to be going and getting active help, not locking themselves in a room and talking to invisible people. That doesn't help. And when they do seek for help, all they're told is, well, you need to pray harder.
Right.
How do you pray harder?
Praying fixes
Like,
everything.
oh, well, your faith must not be strong enough. You need a stronger faith. Good answer.
Yeah, that works.
Let's all pray.
That's just, and a lot of that.
Pray for Cooter's hair.
A lot of that I'm quoting as I was recently talking to a friend who went to one of the Pray the Gay Away correctional institutions.
Oh, God.
And that's just pretty much all you're told is like, well, you just need stronger faith. And you're like, I've been here 3 months, and like they're not going away. And they're like, well, it's because you're not trying hard enough. You're not really asking Jesus for help. You don't really believe he can help you. And it's like, holy fuck, if I like logged myself into a Pray the Gay Away place, like, as opposed to normal therapy or whatever, although normal therapy places probably wouldn't welcome that whole concept because they view homosexuality as normal. But like if I said, yes, Jesus can help me to the point where I want to lock myself up with Jesus to fix this, and you're going to tell me I don't have enough faith, that's...
Right. You're not coming out of that situation in a good place.
Yeah. It's bad times. Also, like this country has a mental health problem that we disguise as all kinds of other problems.
Yeah.
We disguise as, what's the famous quote this country has? Who is that, Joe Rogan? The U.S. has a mental health problem we disguise as a gun problem. And like, how fucking true is that?
Yeah.
How like unbelievably true is that? Because it is. Because you're going to tell me a person who shot up a mall full of kids did not have mental health issues?
Right. By definition.
Yeah. Anybody who makes that decision does have mental health issues.
Right.
And but we're going to say no. If we took the guns away, that wouldn't have ever happened. Well, specifically, no. Yeah, you're correct. But he might have gone through there with some homemade grenades or something, or at the very least a knife.
Right.
You would have found something else.
Yeah. We would have gone back to the pipe bomb days. Remember in the 80s with the pipe bombs? It was like every week you heard of somebody pipe bombing a place. And I don't know why we got away from that, because like they were so much more effective.
But they're not personal, right? Like you set
well,
them
neither are any of these shootings. These shootings are all spray and pray.
I guess, like, to an extent, maybe. I mean, like, some shootings are kind of personal where they're actually specifically aiming. But, I mean, you could still technically throw a pipe bomb and get the purse you want and people wrong next to it.
Sure. I mean, and my point is that there isn't a person that they want. It's just large group. And so I'm going to buy an automatic weapon and hold the trigger down until the gun goes click and just go like this. And
well, it's not even automatic. None of these weapons are automatic.
Oh, right, of course, because it's very difficult to get an automatic weapon. But
it's not even difficult. It's just they're expensive. It doesn't make any sense.
Difficult by whatever your definition of difficult is, sir.
Being expensive does make things
right.
kind of
I
difficult.
can buy a tank, but they're expensive. Yeah, and so they just go in and they just go back and forth and then see who they kill. Fortunately / unfortunately, that's a really, like, statistically, you're not going to hit anybody, as we've seen. When you go, oh my God, this kid unloaded 3 clips and he hit 2 guys, what the hell is that about? And it's, well, because he was just going like this. Whereas, in fact, if you take the time to stop, aim, take a shot, stop, aim, take a shot, yeah, you fire off less rounds, but you're going to hit way more targets.
Right.
So are we going to delete all of that in post? Is that the...
No,
that's there forever.
This is
but now
episode 16, wherein Johnny Christmas tells you how to really shoot a bunch of people.
I mean, it's not like they didn't. If they're looking at our YouTube videos for advice on that, they're something else is entirely wrong.
They probably have mental health issues.
I mean, I think our last video got like 2 views, so I wouldn't be terribly worried about us affecting.
Yeah, I don't know, but this is a good one so far. So.
Well,
Maybe we
and
can
now
get more views that way.
We've traded guns are the problem for racism is the problem now with this latest shooting in Charleston.
Okay, so let's do this. We have a mental health issue we're disguising as a racism issue.
Right. And this whole shit about the Confederate flag is at best a distraction.
Right. We have a flag issue.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to call it. It's a fucking flag. It's not even a flag that says something. It's not a flag that says murder black people.
Right.
It's a flag. I mean, granted, many people, and because it's kind of taught that way in schools, at least especially in the North, many people believe that the Civil War was fought over slavery, and so view that Southern flag as a pro-slavery thing, which is patently untrue. And so I see where they're coming from, but like also that flag, why is that still up anywhere? Like regardless of implications, like why the fuck?
Yeah, what? So South Carolina is flying the flag at their state house, which makes about as much sense to me as if like the Belgian flag was hanging at the state house. It like.
No, like the Czechoslovakian flag, or like you have to pick a country that no longer exists. The Yugoslavian flag. Like, well, it's so we remember the culture of Yugoslavia. It's like nobody alive has any idea. Like we have vague ideas that we've read in books, but like there's nobody alive who was around for that. The last one died in like 1980 something. So I think like we can call it a day then.
Right. I mean, at that point, if you want to display it, like if you want to display it with a plaque about the history of the Civil War and how that meant to South Carolina, whatever, sure, fine, whatever.
Build an entire museum, of which there are many.
Right.
And fly it as high as you can in the middle of the roof of that place. Good on you. But like, what's it doing in front of the State House?
Right.
Like,
then,
you should get American flag, state flag.
That's it.
That's enough. Maybe city flag, you know.
Right.
Things.
And then the craziness. Did you see this crap about Apple removed every app from the App Store that displayed a Confederate flag anywhere inside of it?
All of that legitimizes it. Steam took down games that had the American flag on their logo.
Yeah.
And do you know how many games are based on the Civil War that are excellent games that have rabid fans?
Right.
Get the fuck out.
Right.
It's not it's not like
whitewashing history.
It's not a swastika, and even
if it was, if you're displaying a game made about World War II. You're going to have that flag.
Why aren't we pulling all of the World War II games that have swastikas in?
Right. It's ridiculous.
I'm going to tweet that. So Twitter's up there, so when you see me look that way, tweeting.
We're looking in the past.
No, it's to the future.
No.
Oh no, it's mirrored. You're right.
Yeah,
it's mirrored on your end.
Yeah, to me, that like you're looking backwards.
Yeah, well, time is cyclical. Tweet that.
Time is cyclical.
To look to the past is only to anticipate the future. query. You guys can keep going while I do this. You don't have to wait.
I've got nothing. Anybody else got anything?
Well, I have to get my cake, and
Okay.
then we can talk about my ISP because we never managed to make it to mine, which was
Shit.
Yours is way
Talks about
more
earlier.
interesting than my internet service provider.
Yeah, but hold on, I gotta get my cake. I'll be right back.
So where's ATG?
ATG isn't coming today because he's with his parents because apparently it's his birthday and he likes his family more than us.
But we're his friends.
I know. It's patent bullshit.
I'm offended.
I'm deeply offended. We should remove ATG from all of the past Radio Statler podcasts.
Wait,
If you wanna do that.
from all past. What happened? What do we hate him now?
Because he offended us by not being here.
Yeah, it's his birthday. Did we announce that?
Yes.
Okay, that's why I have cake, even though he's not here. I have cake for his birthday.
I should have gotten cake on my way home from work, but it's okay because I have a drink.
Well, I have 2 pieces. I'll eat one for you.
Mm.
There you go. I already ate mine.
You had cake with the Chinese?
Yeah. It's a really weird Chinese place.
Apparently.
I mean, when you get out of the country, everything kind of just blends together anyway. Like, they have sandwiches and stuff. It's really bizarre.
No, that's true. That is very true. It's like, Chinese and like the local Chinese place to me serves frog legs.
That doesn't
Sure.
seem that weird.
Wouldn't I normally associate frog legs with French cooking?
Oh, I just
think
really
that's-
don't associate frog
It's
legs
one
with
of those stereotypes. You should only associate butter with French cooking.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh man, it's the best. They know exactly how much butter to put in every last thing you
I love butter.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love butter?
I've met quite a few people. They look at me weird because like French toast or whatever. I'll put butter on and
Yeah.
pancakes or like French it's already
Oh my
in
God,
butter.
it's-
And it
it's
needs
so-
more butter.
It's salty fat. By like nature of being a human animal, it's the two things you crave more than anything else.
Especially my
Salted fat.
pancakes. Like the other day, I had to make the boyfriend realize when he wanted to buy normal pancake syrup. I'm like, no, we get butter flavor.
But
Well, I would rather put butter in on my own.
Yeah, you should put on the
Butter
butter
flavor
and
seems.
then put on real maple syrup.
Yeah.
There's no point in getting butter flavored syrup because you're gonna put butter on it anyway.
That's
No,
an
we want to. I cover the
Listen,
pancake in butter,
you
like
have-
multiple times, and then I do butter syrup on top.
That's a little disgusting.
No,
That's
it's
In
terrible.
my personal opinion, it's a little disgusting.
It is
I'm sorry,
delicious.
Bunny. If you want that, Bunny, get maple cream.
Who is that?
That's not out.
Hi, Johnny.
Oh, he's back. Hello.
I finally got one of my computers working well enough that I could join.
I've been working, so I didn't actually see that anyone joined.
He's been working by also talking the whole time.
This is me working.
Al, you have a much better job than I do, Johnny.
I'm just crawling through a Postgres database. This is not something that takes a lot of.
Well, okay, maybe it's not that much better, but
Everybody thinks pen testing is like this big, sexy, badass job, and like for the most of the time, it's boring repetition.
Aww. Thanks for bursting the bubble, Johnny.
Yeah, like what did you think of this? Like, yeah, it's badass the first time you do anything, and then like when you got to do it the 400th time and then spend 3 days writing a report, it's just suicide at least. But I
Yeah.
had a gap in my resume that I'm filling.
all I'm going to say is at least it's not help desk.
It kind of is in that once you give them the report, like you also have to give them recommendations on fixing the problem, and then a lot of times they don't understand those recommendations, so you have to break it down even further, and that gets really close to help desk.
Yeah. I'm just saying It's not sitting in a small, hot, dusty room all day with people screaming at you that you're not fixing shit fast enough.
You know,
That's like the shittiest help desk job ever.
That's most of the help desk jobs I've ever worked.
I don't know.
Twitter, what does your shirt say? Something about inevitable betray? And there's dinosaurs?
Yes.
Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal.
Okay. Sorry, continue.
It's Firefly reference. Woo! Now our podcast will get the Joss Whedon bump. We'll get 3 viewers on this video.
There we go.
I don't think that's how the Joss Whedon.
Yeah, I think we're just not doing the YouTube tags right.
I think we're not doing the YouTube tags right. I don't think we're.
I think it goes along with the name. Whatever we name it, we seem to get similar videos with the same, like similar topic in our name. If that makes sense.
Well,
It does.
judging by YouTube hits, I could probably boost things by showing you my cat lounging around being an asshole and my wife's fish tank, but...
I mean, I could do that. I got a kid right there who's cleaning her butt.
Didn't we do
Now
that
she's
one time?
looking. Now she's looking at me, like, seriously, did you just tell the whole internet I'm over here cleaning my butt? Thank you.
She knows what you're doing.
Okay, so should I discuss my ISP fun?
Yes.
It happened, like, again right before I was coming here, or like right before we started the podcast. So like a week ago, it's like a week ago. Oh, something like that. I clicked on a bookmark link on my bookmark bar because that's normal. We all do that. When I clicked on it, I was redirected to a page by my ISP. And it says that to continue using the internet, I must agree to their terms of service. And then I had a little agree or disagree, and I was like, no. I closed the tab. I tried it again, and I got the same page. So I actually went up and checked and blocked the cookies the page was coming from. And then I went to the page that I was trying to go to, and then it all worked fine again. I'm like, whatever. So like over the course of the week, randomly now, going to a website, I get redirected to a website from my ISP, but since I blocked the cookies from the page trying to make me agree to terms, it just then redirects me again to Charter's website. And this has been happening now for like a week. And we were discussing it earlier today, and it shouldn't be happening. I use third-party DNS servers, so they should.
We all?
Yeah.
Isn't that how? Okay.
Yeah.
I guess maybe Beaches might run his own.
No, like not the ones the ISP gives you, right?
Yeah, I'm not using my ISPs. I'm going through Google's DNS. So they're still hijacking my web browsing.
Yeah, those are regularly hijacked, Google's DNS servers. They're
Well,
like
yeah,
the
but
most
still,
targeted
they're-
DNS servers.
Well, yeah, but I mean, my ISP should not be doing that. Especially
no.
because there's multiple ways that they can contact me. I would assume they've changed their terms of service. Is the reason why I'm getting it.
Right.
'Cause I'm sure-
Usually that comes up when they flag your account for piracy, and they like be like, hey, you don't pirate things, please, okay, thanks.
But even then, don't they usually just send an email that says, "Hey, we've noticed you can
No, because people like the email addresses that they have are never accurate, so like they annoy the shit out of you.
Yeah, but they also have the address where the service is being delivered.
Yeah, they have the address where the internet's going. They have my home address. They could come to my front door and speak with me.
They could send you a letter on their letterhead, so
Yes.
that you know,
Which is what they should do instead of actually hijacking your traffic and doing stuff that looks malicious, even if it's not.
especially when it's hijacking your DNS or cold calling you from a number that's not actually associated with their main phone listings, where
Charter does it all the
no way of verifying that it's actually them.
Right. Well, and to be fair, we don't. Bunny hasn't figured out exactly. Like she hasn't either figured out or told us exactly how it's happening. We were all assuming it's through DNS because that kind of makes sense.
Well, it would seem to make sense. I mean, like, because it's pretty random. The only thing I've been able to, after with ATG, ask me if it was actually happening on secure web pages. It's not happening on there. All the pages that it's happening on do not have, are all just HTTP. They don't have actually a secure version. So that's one thing that I've actually noticed. It's not like specifically happening because I just tried it when Beaches was talking about his speed test. I was like, oh, I wonder what I'm getting, and I went to speed test at .net, the .net, and it happened then, and I had to refresh to get it back again. Like it's happening just kind of random.
That is weird.
Very
The first website it ever happened to was postsecret.com, and then mostly it's been happening because I pretty much sit in the exact same websites all the time. I don't really venture very far a lot of times, because I can get most things I need in one spot. But occasionally I'm clicking links from Facebook and going elsewhere. It's usually when I'm getting it. But that's probably because that's when I venture out. Otherwise, I just go to Reddit and I get all my news from there.
So yeah, you should absolutely go bitch at the FCC about that because it totally gets listened to.
Well, she did, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
It does get listened to. I mean, at least like the FCC took that last petition seriously.
They have a whole group of people that read those complaints and bitch at ISPs, and I know because I work for one of them.
Yeah, AT&T just got fined by them for
Yeah, they did.
$100 million.
And AT&T was like, whatever.
Yeah, like, sounds like a lot of money. But...
Well, it's a lot of money for one of us. It's not a
yeah,
lot of money
for them, it's like a tiny little amount. How much did they make last year?
Well, I mean, it's not totally insubstantial, but it's enough that they feel it kind of a little bit, but not enough that they're in trouble.
You know, until the fines are like at least equal to at least 1/4 of their revenue, I don't think it's going to be enough.
Yeah, 1/4 is an insane amount. I would say
that's too much.
1%.
Yeah.
No,
$100 million is about 1% of these companies, so maybe a little bit more.
I mean,
Time Warner was getting bought by Comcast for something like $34 billion.
Yeah, I mean a financial quarter.
Oh.
Not 25% of their revenue.
Gotcha.
That makes more sense.
3 months revenue.
That's fair.
Because I'm really not sure what you would base that calculation on otherwise.
Well, you take the valuation and you would take 25% of the valuation.
But that's not revenue.
But the valuation is based on revenue.
No, it's based on a lot of things.
In theory, it's based.
It's based on EBITDA, which is earnings before interest, taxes, and something else.
Doesn't that also include assets, though?
Yes, that's the A, the assets.
Yeah, so you wouldn't want to charge them on assets because then they'd have to sell stuff that they're using to provide service, which seems counterproductive.
That's how you actually hurt them. You fuckheads.
Well, so what you want to do is make it so that they have to pay out of the CEO's salaries and not have to fuck over all of the people that work at the data centers and shit.
That's probably more effective.
Or make the executives personally liable.
That could work too. Sure, it's coming out of their paycheck. That's fine. Yeah, you just want to make sure that you're not ending up inadvertently laying people off because the higher ups made some stupid bullshit.
Well, inevitably, that's how corporations deal with that. They
would, but
they raise their rates.
Yeah. There's not a good way to do it, but doing something that will definitely fuck over the people is.
Well, if you shift the burden for the fines from the corporation to the individual officers or board members or whoever you judge is actually being culpable for it.
But I can see a problem with that too in cases where if you own a TV station, let's just say you own a TV station for the sake of simplicity, and somebody underneath you broadcasts the F-bomb,
Right.
like that's clearly like that's not the CEO's responsibility. That's somebody underneath him fucking up.
Well, that's why I said whoever you judge to be culpable.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but then every time, that's a huge amount of work to describe who's culpable or not. Which, I mean, I guess you'd have to do anyway, so maybe it doesn't fucking matter, but... Whatever.
AT&T said that they were going to appeal that decision anyway, so that they're probably not going to actually get that fine.
They should get a bigger one.
Yes, they should.
Yes,
Like,
but they probably won't.
Us wasting our fucking time.
They'll probably spend $50 million in lawyers, and it'll go away, and they'll call that a win.
Yeah.
So what was it exactly that they were doing?
I believe it was throttling unlimited accounts.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Which is
Yeah,
against the recent law that was passed, or
Well,
revision
well, I think-
policy.
I think it's fine if you don't sell it as not being throttled. I think that was the issue.
Yes.
Like, oh yeah, no
So-
throttling, guys. Yeah, totally unlimited. We don't fuck you over, and then they were fucking them over.
Well, it's that
Which
they.
is-
It's not that they said it wouldn't be throttled. It's that they didn't say it would be throttled.
Right.
It was essentially a lie by omission.
Right.
They need to, if they're going to throttle you, they need to tell you. Was essentially what it was. I keep hearing like a ding noise.
I don't know.
think
Someone's
it's
dinner
coming
is
from my
done.
computer. Oh, so I managed to break every piece of exterior glass on my phone.
Sweet. So did I.
Did you? I thought you did just the front.
Well, I only have the front, so.
Oh, I broke the front, and then yesterday I broke the back. In a fight against tempered glass, the cell phone doesn't win.
No, it doesn't.
So, time to get a new phone.
Yeah.
I just pulled this off the printer.
What is that?
Check it out. So, it's nothing right now.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like 80s sunglasses.
Yeah, it does.
Or like a really weird CD holder.
But if I assemble it,
Is it going to be a really weird bow tie?
That's what I was just wondering.
it's a 3D printed bow tie. And it's got a space, and you put the little neck ribbon right through the back, and it totally functions.
I mean, bow ties don't function.
Yes,
They
they do.
do.
They look pretty.
They keep your collar closed.
Oh, okay.
Only if you're missing all of
Your
your
top
studs
button.
and buttons.
Yes.
Oh, hey, Johnny.
Huh.
So I promised the boyfriend that when we're up there, your place coming soon, that he'd get to make something on MakerBot.
I didn't even have a functional one until like 3 days ago. How did you do that?
I don't know. I just assumed you had a functional one.
I had to buy a new one. The old one exploded.
Did it?
Yeah, it almost took my eye out. It literally exploded. A diode popped off, and it hit me right here.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit. How does that even happen?
It was a known issue, apparently, that I discovered, and don't bother calling MakerBot about it, because they do not give a fuck.
That's
Like-
been my impression of MakerBot for a while now.
I've been on their support many, many, many times, and it's like a DGAF all day. Like they got up a banner in the background that just says that, and their customer service center. Zero fucks at those places. And if you need a part, they're like, oh, it's $17,000. We take credit card or feet. Like they do not give a fuck. Yeah, fuck fuck MakerBot support. I do not condone the purchase of a MakerBot ever.
So did you buy another MakerBot, or did you buy another...
I was offered a slightly used MakerBot at an incredible discount that I'm not going to discuss because the legality is questionable. The upside...
Somebody traded for sex.
The upside is that now I never have to call their support. Because I can't, but it's totally worth it. Just knowing that that's never going to be an option. Like I don't have to even fear, like, oh god, I have to call support. Like, nope. Like if it breaks, it's like, well, better fix it.
I mean, you can at least like take parts from the busted one, right?
No. Oh no, they're totally different machines.
Really?
Vastly, yeah. Top to
What'd
bottom.
Oh, speaking of...
Before, what do you have now?
I had a MakerBot like 3rd gen, and this is a 5th gen.
This is what I made on their first one.
What is that? Oh yeah, that was
It
took paint really well.
I can't. I don't. Can you see inside?
You can turn it a little bit more. Keep going. Go back. Yeah, stop. No. Okay, stop right there. You guys see how it kind of looks like there's little faces inside there?
That's creepy as fuck.
There are, and those aren't painted. Those are three-dimensional faces inside.
We just painted the silver. The silver color. It was done with black, so it was all black to start. So we painted the inside with silver.
Is it supposed to be creepy as fuck, or is there an actual purpose for it?
No, just be creepy as fuck.
I just happen to actually have a
I appreciate that.
Yeah. I just
cat hair inside.
I printed a Domo-kun Raspberry Pi case.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it's got
I need to hook up my Pi. In case I need to find my Pi.
Oh, I use the shit out of these.
I have one. I'm not gonna ever buy another one. I think I'm gonna probably switch to like hard kernel.
The Odroid is where everything's going now. It's kind of like...
It's like twice the price, but it's like 3 times as powerful.
Just give it a minute. Like, you remember when everything switched from Arduino to Raspberry Pi? Now it's going Raspberry Pi to Odroid.
Well, I mean, I don't have any use for them right now anyway, so I'm not going to go buy like 50 of them. But right now I have my Raspberry Pi set up as a torrent box.
Oh, well, you can get one used on eBay for like $20.
An Odroid or a Raspberry Pi?
All right.
How's the weather, guys?
All right, so we got about 5 minutes left, I think. How is everyone's weather?
Mine came through the walls last night.
It's actually been really nice here. Last week was fucking awful.
Yeah, last week was pretty bad. This week, pretty nice.
Mostly it's just been a lot of rain.
Yes.
Yeah. No, we're supposed to get that coming back in a few days, so.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Oh, we forgot to... Is there a way to get like a mosaic layout of everyone on the call?
No.
Oh, yeah.
What do you need a mosaic for?
Like instead of like making it not switch to who's talking?
No,
well,
I don't
you
think
can select one person's picture.
Yeah, I know that. Okay. I'm trying to get a good selfie.
We're supposed to toast. We're supposed to toast for ATG, like screenshot it and send it to him.
I don't think there's a good way to do that. We should obviously, hey Google, if you're paying attention, somebody over there, if we could get that implemented, that'd be fucking awesome.
Woo!
Especially if you could do it in the next 5 minutes, that'd be.
It's not.
Yeah, the 3 people that ever watch this, one of them will work for Google.
We did have.
Well, we do know someone who works for Google. Red Hack does.
And specifically, the part of Google that controls this.
So how does a selfie work?
How does a selfie work? It's really
horrible.
easy.
It's all red.
All you do.
In the last 5 minutes, we found the episode title.
No, I thought it was the episode in which Johnny tells everyone how to shoot a large group of people.
It's too long,
That's
man.
too long.
Why are we taking a selfie with this, by the way?
Well, they get a shot of me for him, showing that I brought cake.
Okay, hold on. Let me put it on your name so it doesn't change, or tell everybody else to shut up. You can't really see me. All right, let's see how that looks. You can hold it there just in case it looks bad.
Is it good? Are we good?
It looks pretty funny, actually. I don't know if we're making.
It's a little bit creepy.
Okay, all right.
Can we see it?
Send it off.
Wearing a Phantom mask for Phantom of the Opera.
Why don't you just do a screenshot?
How about he watches the video like the rest of the world doesn't?
Yeah. That would obviously be the way to go.
Nice Norman Bates.
Yeah, I know what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to put it on Facebook.
You should definitely put it on Facebook. You can put it on all of the social medias.
Yay! So we got a minute left. Anybody have any parting jewels of wisdom? What?
Get drinking.
No, she said get naked. That's how we're no longer allowed to make Radio Statler podcasts.
All right. Well, then let's sign it off.
All right.
I've been Johnny Christmas, and you've been listening to How to Shoot People.
See you
Good
next
night.
week where we'll have an interactive tutorial on how to make a pipe bomb. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye!
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.